Today I have a very special guest with me, and if it wasn't obvious from the hair, this is a person that I share genes with, but he's also my biggest critic, but also the person I go to for a lot of advice, which includes my academics and some of the cases I struggle with. Meet my son Anand.
Hi, just to start off, my jeans don't fit her, so...
Okay, alright, okay, clearly bad humor runs in the family as well. I've asked Anand to join me today because we've had many conversations as mother and son, but also as fellow professionals, about the subject of identity, our gender identity, and really how we see ourselves through the years. And Anand, I wanted to begin by asking you how you see identity and what it means to you.
Look, a lot of people I've talked to have always been like, oh, you can't use they, them, it's not grammatically correct or whatever, but my view in this whole situation is that if it's something that's not harming me, like if it's not something that's actively hurting my way of life, then who am I to question it? You know, let people express themselves the way they want to, as long as the people like myself or the people I care about, are not being physically harmed or mentally harmed or harmed in any sort of way.
Actually, you bring up a very important point. We try and be as aware as we can over time, but I think one of the struggles that we face as people, and I hope I speak for myself as well, as people who consider themselves more aware, is our frustration and sometimes anger or even hating towards people that are simply refusing to see the things that we're seeing, right? To which I've always found a particular quote: never attribute malice to something that can just as easily be explained by, well, the original quote is stupidity, but I will say that can easily be attributed to ignorance or helplessness. There are some people who simply cannot see things the way we see them. I have always, and I hope this is how I have raised you and your brother, is to think that I don't want to label you as anything, because I feel if I put either of you in a box, I simply wouldn't see who you are as individuals and humans first. So I think whether it came to gender, whether it came to motivations, whether it came to interests and pursuits, including academic, my hope has been that I just try and look with as few filters. Now I know it's not possible, and you and I have had many arguments over this, but as mother and son, we always the nature of human reality is that we look through certain filters. But I'm just curious, I mean, in terms of as a child, and I'm aware I'm opening myself up here, how could you feel more supported from a parent, and speak not just for yourself, but I would say for your friends and if not your generation?
No, yeah, I see that question, and I feel like the answer is really pretty simple. It's just do a little bit more research before coming to a conclusion about something. Like if a child wants to express themselves a certain way and it's something that you just feel it makes you uncomfortable, then I mean, it's your child, right? Like, you're supposed to love them, and it doesn't hurt to look up something for 5 minutes and understand what they're feeling and how they want to do things, and how that's not really hurting you in any sort of way. So
yes, to which I will say that one of the big struggles that I felt as a mum was when you guys were young, when you people were young, I was aware that if one of you identified as gender non-binary or in terms of your sexual preferences, it could be perceived as a much harder world for you, right? That you would need to struggle a lot more. To which my thought eventually, as you rightly said, I did begin by educating myself, but also to meet more people that were not just heteronormative, cis, and realizing that we, each of us, this isn't a choice that anybody makes to start with, but that what other choice do we have other than to live our reality? And I'm just curious how you perceive the difficulty of life beyond, or you and your friends perceive the difficulty of life beyond.
Look, I get that being queer or being gender non-conforming it is hampering your livelihood, and it can affect the way that you live your life and how people perceive you. But it's not really something you can change. And don't you think it'd be better for people to live their life in their most authentic sense, as opposed to living masked where they are unhappy and they have the potential to make other people unhappy because of their unhappiness for not being able to be truly themselves?
Once again, I often look to you for my wisdom. Thank you for your wise words. I will add also that very often our fear of things is greater than the reality of things. So, as you rightly said, knowledge can dispel a lot of that ignorance and fear. Thank you for joining me today. And what was it you said to me? Dab? What was that?
Dab me?
Dab, yeah. Thank you. And I hope you enjoyed this.